Hey everyone, thanks so much for sending in your questions. We got a ton of them, almost 500. It's awesome. My name's Graham.
I'm Joe.
And we're here answering your questions out of our Skull Bowl. Do you think it's possible to do a Wikipedia fact or fiction with Joey Jordison? There was a lot of these questions, a lot of requests for Wikipedia guests. We are on break doing Wikipedia right now, but it's because we're filming new episodes. Joey Jordison would be amazing. A lot of people requested Metallica, Avenged Sevenfold. Obviously, I would do one with any of those guys.
That'd be great.
With this next rollout of Wikipedia episodes, I am getting really picky with it, and I really want the next batch to be our greatest that we've ever done. So I'm really holding out for the most awesome, legendary people to do it with. But one I can tell you about that we have filmed is one with Greg Graffin from Bad Religion, and it's probably one of my favorites that we've ever done. So
Bad
that's
Religion nut.
Yeah. Do you ever get looks by the 40-year-old people in public when you wear band shits? That's his shits.
That does.
It's his band shits.
All right, we'll just assume that was shirts.
And how does it make you feel when some eyes are watching you? Well, whenever I'm wearing a band shit, I feel embarrassed. Actually, we're in New York City, so even if we're covered in band shits, people don't tend to bother you. They don't tend to look at you.
What's the story behind that Axl Rose candle in the back? Let's get this one here. I think it was just the video guys who were looking for stuff in our studio, and they found this, and why not have the Messiah Axl Rose?
I think it was on Etsy or something. How did Graham lose all his weight, and what was his inspiration? Not to look like a bag of crap anymore. It was actually kind of more of a mental health thing, and then a drastic change in diet. I stopped eating meat. I killed all the sugary drinks, all processed foods and stuff, and started running in early 2014. I think Henry Rollins said that exercise is the most underutilized form of antidepressant.
Ooh. Whoa, Graham, you can't have guns in the studio.
Oh, sorry.
All right, next question here. It was a good one. What band first got you guys into metal?
Twisted Sister. We're Not Gonna Take It.
SMF over here.
Yeah, since I was 8 years old. I saw We're Not Gonna Take It, the music video on VH1, and it blew my mind. And I asked my mom to buy me the Monsters of Rock compilation, and she said no.
For me, so I got into Limp Bizkit on TRL with the Nookie video when they were blowing up the ship before they changed it. And then I heard Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 soundtrack, and they had Number of the Beast on there, and then from there it was all over. I got Maiden's Edward the Great, and then from there I picked the songs I liked the best, and then I got each album from the Greatest Hits one from there. You're gonna like this one. Favorite Opeth album?
Ghost Reveries.
For me, I feel like there's two answers to this for everyone who says Damnation is their favorite, because it's kind of the outlier in the catalog a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, those Rainy Days, there's just nothing better than that album. So aside from Damnation, if we're gonna go with a little bit more of the standard Opeth, Still Life? Do you guys love pop punk music? If so, what are your favorite bands?
I love pop punk. I grew up on pop punk.
You were listening to that before metal.
Yeah, well, kind of. A little bit of metal with Twisted Sister and Korn, but then pop punk really took over my life. So Sum 41, Newfound Glory, Rufio, Slick Shoes, a million other pop punk bands. That's what I grew up on. Blink-182, huge Blink fan. Who was the nicest or kindest person you've interviewed in your Loudwire history?
Bumblefoot.
I was gonna say Bumblefoot too. Bumblefoot.
I remember that Metal Allegiance show that we put on. They all walked off stage to take a little break. He stayed on stage and was just talking with fans the whole time. He never even got to leave the stage.
Taking pictures with everybody.
Yeah.
So
there might be people who are as nice as Bumblefoot, but I don't think there's anybody nicer than Bumblefoot.
Graham, who was your favorite person to interview? Bruce Dickinson. Easy answer. Another person I think asked, like, who's a person you couldn't believe you were in the room with? Bruce Dickinson. And just how cool he was and how open he was. And I couldn't say, it couldn't have gone any better. That's the one I'm most proud of.
Favorite album of all time? Mine is Iron Maiden's Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. So when they did that Seventh Son tour, the Made in England thing all over again, we caught that, what, 3 times?
Yeah, 3 times.
3 times.
My favorite album of all time, either Between the Buried and Me's Colors or Music from the Adventures of Pete and Pete by Polaris. 100% serious. That album changed my life. What was your all-time favorite answer to a Wikipedia question? Let me chew on that question for a second.
I'm out of here.
I would say that probably when I asked Disturbed's David Draiman if it was true that he got the wah noise from a trip to the Chicago Zoo, he said no and broke out laughing, and we both just laughed about it for probably a good 15, 20 seconds, and he said, "Who comes up with this shit?" Did anything interesting or shocking incident happen during any of your interviews so far?
Last week, Scott Stapp saved our camera.
Yeah, we were interviewing Scott Stapp, and the tripod gave out.
One of the legs just collapsed.
So like a $5,000 camera was about to bite the dust, and Scott Stapp saved it with like superhero quickness, strength, caught it by the lens. So thank you, Scott. You bailed us out on that one. That was incredible. Okay, this is a twofer. Which rock star did you have the most fun doing Wikipedia Fact or Fiction with? Ice-T. The best. The most awesome. Rap's OG meets Loudwire's OG. And are you going to be able to do any more Epic Rock Tales videos? Yes. We're making them as you watch this.
Oh, just wait until you see the Phil Anselmo Epic Rock Tale. Why do you guys have such a hard-on for Deep Purple? Because they rule. Have you not heard Stormbringer and In Rock and Who Do We Think We Are? All right, that one's a little bit weaker, but Rap At Blue is a sick song. Those guys were on fire. Like, when you have to have a furious debate about who's the best member of a band and you're arguing between how many guys, like, it's John Lord, Ian Pace, Richie Blackmore, and then like when you have David Coverdale and Glenn Hughes come in and they do a little bit of the funk, the soul thing, trading off, it's just, yeah, how much time you got?
Yeah, put on Made in Japan and school yourself.
So, Graham, were you intimidated by Phil Anselmo when you interviewed him on Wikipedia Fact or Fiction?
I think I was intimidated by everybody when I started interviewing people. I think that's very obvious. But Phil, he was actually kind enough to be like a complete dick during that interview, but in a way where he was really letting me know it's like, let's play up this thing. And that's the one I get asked about more than anything. So the fact that he was like calling me a dick and then like grabbing my hand and cracking my knuckles.
Put you in a headlock?
Yeah, and I mean like the way that he was treating me, he was smart enough to know, okay, I read this kid's energy. I understand what this is. Let's create a dynamic here. And then once the cameras turned off, he gave me a big hug and he's like, that was awesome, brother. Like, we showed those Wikipedia assholes. What happened to the name GRU Hamid? I get asked this one a lot too. I got the nickname GRU Hamid when I was like 9 years old from one of my friends. And somehow, moving from California to Australia, then to Connecticut, and then to New York City, somehow the name followed me wherever I moved. So it was just kind of a natural thing for me to use the name. But after a while, honestly, I just kind of got sick of it, and I just didn't identify with the name so much anymore. And then I was kind of like, it's kind of like my kid name that I grew up being called. So it's like, let's leave that behind and keep going as just Graham, just because I was like, I feel like this is getting stupid, like using the name so much, and yeah, it wasn't for any, I wasn't pressured to get rid of the name, or there were no PC police after me or anything like that. Like, I don't think I ever heard anyone complain about it. It was just, I just got sick of it, to be honest. So it's like, how about I just use my actual name? How about that? Thank you so much for offering your questions to us. Thank you so much for giving us 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. It means the absolute world to us. Stay tuned, because we've got so much good stuff coming for you. And
let's do this again when we hit 1 million.
Yeah, we hit 1 million. Help us hit 1 million. We'll do another one of these for you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you so much.
Oh, poor Yorick.